Hello, Trev here. So as you may have seen, I've just completed vlogs on lots of different park runs, and I've done the 4 different park runs in Oxford. So I thought it'd be quite nice to make a kind of compilation and a review to see which is the best one. So please do drop a comment if you think you disagree or you agree with my analysis of the different park runs, and let me know if you've checked them out. Have you checked out all 4? So the 4 we've got are Horsepath, Harcourt Hill, University Parks and Cutslow. So I will do a review at the end, so please do watch the video right the way to the end and see my analysis, and please do click subscribe for more videos like this. Okay, enjoy. Hello, morning, Trev here. I'm just at Cutslow and Sunnymead Park in Oxford, just going to their park run. I've not been for a few well, for at least a year and maybe even two years to this park, because I've been involved with the University Parks park run in the centre of town. But this is the original park run in Oxford, or the first park run in Oxford. So it's called Oxford Park Run. And yeah, a beautiful park, award-winning park. It's kind of got lots of areas in it. You can just have a little look at the park. Some people playing volleyball over there. So there are 2 car parks in Cutslow Park. So the bypass actually has a little car park by it, not very busy at the moment, and there's another car park right at the other side of the park over here. In terms of the charges apply from 10 AM to 6 PM, so you'd be all right with the park run, and as long as you finish it within an hour, so as long as you're a little bit quicker than that, then you wouldn't need to pay anything. But you can get a charge of up to an hour, £1, and then £2.20, as you can see, or £3.20. Okay, so just showing a few facilities at the park. Seems to be an old splash park. I'm not sure if that works anymore. You've got some toilet facilities over here. It looks like a crazy golf course. You've got pavilions, so you've got some events go on. I've never seen an event in here, but looks like there are events. But yeah, mini golf. You've got mini golf. You can see behind the mini golf there's an amazing park with lots of different sort of slides and swings and various different things. Got a cafe. The cafe is open 9 to 5. I'm a little bit early today, so cafe's not open yet, but it'll be open after park run. Let's have a look at their menu, so you can pause it. But independent cafe to get your coffees and your snacks, and also some ice creams. Let's have a little look around here. So this is part of the park. I didn't look around this park for quite a while because parkrun sort of runs around the park, but actually the facilities in the middle are absolutely brilliant in terms of what you can do. So you have this sort of very, very generous sand pit with a water thing. Again, unfortunately the water things at fountains like this often break, but you've got a zip line that's broken, so yeah, which is normal unfortunately, but hopefully they'll repair those sorts of things. But this is quite cool, isn't it? So you have a climbing frame and an amazing slide. So that slide will come all the way down there. There is a pond. Can't remember where the pond is. I think it's over here, a duck pond I've been to before. And yeah, let's say, like we saw earlier, some volleyball courts, some very, very nice sort of trees and sort of walks you can have. Okay, so we've got this cool water refill. Wondering if it works. Yeah, it does. So if you've got a bottle, you can refill it to refill point. So the park run starts just up here, and there were other things. So a miniature railway which you can ride. I don't know if miniature railway is the right word, because it's you know, one that you can sit on with kids, or kids can sit on it. So yeah, there we go, parkrun arrow. Here we go. We can see them setting up just there, and a little bit better look at this play park, sorry. Yeah, you've got a good number of things for kids to go on, some various different swings, and I quite like those. These ones here, they are very, very quick. There's my yeah, so you can kind of get four kind of smaller kids go round and round very fast. But yeah, the railway, so this is a miniature railway which I've never seen working, but I hear that they have redone it. In fact, I remember many park runs. So this used to be a park run I came to very, very regularly. There was always sort of works going on in this section. So this is possibly the first time I've ever seen it finished. So this goes right round. Yeah, nice loop. It'd be nice to see that working at some point myself. But I hear it does go, and there are some other things over there. There were sort of an aviary, so with birds and some various things in the middle of the park, but I might show you those in a little bit. But yeah, Oxford Park Run. Let's go and see the start. And the other car park is the other side, so a lot of people come, or the main car park is this side, so many people will come that way. There's the finish funnel. Start, as far as I remember, was somewhere around here. 2 laps. Okay, so here's a little park run flag. Whoop, go over the railway, just having a little look at some of the railway bits. Hopefully this will be open in the summer. So you've actually got a model railway inside here going round, and I've never seen it working, but I'm assuming it does. And you've got a kind of a bigger train that you can sit on that comes out and goes round the park, and I'm so keen to try it at some point, but I've never seen it working because it was been in repair and then COVID. There we go. Whoa, okay, next public running is the 21st of April on Sunday. Okay, so and they've got a little timetable here as well. Okay, great. So you can pause it and have a little read of that. Fare is £1.50. What an amazing little thing. This miniature railway, not model. So yeah, although there is a model railway as well. So miniature railway and model railway in Cutslow Park. Okay, so this is the top car park, top pavilion, and this is where most people will come into the park because it's the main car park, and the one on the bypass is only if you're going, let me get this right, clockwise, not anti-clockwise. So there's only a very small car park the other side. This is the main car park, but it's still not huge. So yeah, if you do live locally, then do consider using other transport, and you can see there's all of the car park marshals just getting people in. Didn't have a car park marshal on my side, but I think that I was just a little bit early. And the top pavilion also has some facilities, some public toilets. So you've got toilets both sides, and yeah, very, very beautiful kind of park with lots of fields, big space. When we run, we sort of run along this tree line and then up here and then back down. Okay, so you can see there's quite a lot going on in this park. You've got sort of tennis, you've got the pond, you've got a miniature railway, you've got ODS depot. 1936 this park was established, so you've got some nice sort of little bug house, well, big bug house there, There's the tennis courts down there. You've got another bug house down here. There is a pond. I'm going to see if I can quickly find the pond before parkrun starts. This is the first parkrun. Apparently they were looking to start a parkrun in Oxford. Can't remember the date, I'll look it up. But they didn't have faith of whether it would work. So Abingdon actually started before Oxford. So Oxford saw that Abingdon was a success, and then we got our first one in Oxford. Oh right, okay, so we've got a peace smile. More woodland, and yes, here's the pond. I knew it was here. So yeah, nice pond. See any ducks? There are some ducks and various swans, but can't see today. And like I say, the park run runs around the outside of the park, so you don't really run through this bit, and you might sort of miss it, to be honest, because there's quite a lot going on in the centre of Cutslow Park. But yeah, in terms of the park run, this is the first one in Oxford, so that's why, hence it's called Oxford Park Run, although now there are 4 in Oxford, so I'll try and sort of cover all of them. There we go, the peace mile. So we've got University Parks, we've got Horse Path, and we've got Harcourt Hill. So Harcourt Hill was the next one to start, and then Horse Path sadly kind of tried to start so many times, and then the lockdown hit just as it was sort of due to start. So it was kind of quite a delayed, frustrating start for Horse Path, and it pretty much ended up starting just before University Parks. All of them are really nice events. Yeah, so down here, I think this is where, in the winter course, we go along this path, I think up here. Yeah, so you could, if you knew the pond was there, you could look across for it, but it's more recent that I've discovered that the pond is actually there. Hello, duck. And yeah, there's some dogs in this park. It's a dog-friendly park, and for the park run you can also run with your dog, I believe, which I hope to do at some point. So in the winter course you go down here. In the summer course you would go round and round this big playing field round there and just do 2 laps. So I'm thinking it's going to be a summer course today because the ground looks pretty dry and it does feel like summer. Yeah, let's make our way to the start. So we're just walking to the start line. I couldn't actually hear the first timer's brief, so I don't actually know if we are doing a 2-lap or 3-lap course. I'm assuming it's a 2-lap course because it looks fairly dry, but I will just follow everyone else. And in the past, sometimes you do a little lap of this initial field as well, but it doesn't look like they put flags out, so I'm assuming it's just a straight 2 laps of the whole park. There's the tail walker with a dog. Some marshals. A few dogs, so dogs are very welcome here, which is a really good plus point.
Thank you to all our volunteers, without whom we wouldn't do it. Three, two, one, go!
Go. Okay, so we just started. Couldn't hear the brief overly well, actually. I could do with a sound system, but 3-lap winter course, but it's a lot drier, so that's great. Quite a lot of people here. Just careful of these bollards. Thank you, Marshall. Beach volleyball. Don't know anywhere else that does beach volleyball, but it does in this park. Oh, looks like there's some allotments there. Didn't know that. Another entrance. Community orchard. Thank you, Marshall. Okay, so if we look to the left, there is the pond. Summer course would go over that way 2 laps, but winter course 3 laps. So I'll see if I can do 1 lap to show you the whole route. That's the pond. Thank you. A little bit of mud, but hardly any now, which is great. So very buggy friendly. Okay, this is the muddiest bit, I think. Yeah, I didn't get any mud. Lower pavilion. So 3 pavilions. That's how big the park is. Let's have 3 pavilions. It's always a hard bit. Got a little hill, but it feels big when you're running. I see people with their milestone t-shirts, 100 park runs. I see the railway over there. Past the railway. Thank you, Marshall. Okay, and now we're coming round for the first of 3 laps. So, okay, and a big hello to Emily and Kiki, and thank you to everyone who has subscribed. There's the beach volleyball in the background to the channel. So do please click subscribe and drop a comment if you want to see different videos. We're enjoying these videos. Really helps me see what you want to see more of. Okay, I will carry on to the finish. Okay, so I'm just coming up to the finish, or the final couple of bends before the finish, to admiring these lovely trees. So I'm getting some coffees. There is, I think, or there suddenly used to be a shop or garden centre type shop and an aviary down there. Haven't had a chance to go and see if it's still open, so if you do know, do drop a comment. But lots going on in this park, well worth checking out over the summer. So yeah, I've got one more bend and then I'll be going through the finish funnel. Those of you who've not done park runs before, so it's 5k and you're welcome to jog or run or walk. There's not a great deal of walkers, to be fair, but if you're a confident walker, they do want to try and encourage more walkers. Station staff. I like that little ticket booth. But yeah, once you finish your 5k, do go through the finish run and I'll show you what to do in just a second, but you get a token which you then get scanned. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you. Some people like the sprint. I'm not sure that I'm going to sprint today. Thank you, Marshalls. So yeah, that was the point where you get your time. Once you're in the funnel, stay in the funnel. Some split into two, but just stay in the funnel, do what the marshals tell you, and then I will get a token. Thank you very much. This is my number, which corresponds to my time, and then we get it scanned if I get my barcode out. Hello. Yeah, good, thank you. So I've got it printed on this. I did have a band, unfortunately I've lost it for the moment, but there's my parkrun ID. You can do it on a phone now. There's a few people scanning today. If you don't fancy running, you can volunteer. It's not for everybody. Hello.
Morning. Lovely, thank you, Trevor.
Okay, thanks. And
perfect, thank you.
Thank you. And then you just pop it in there, and that's it. Yeah, so remember to give your token back, and if you're not registered already, it is free to register for parkrun. I've liked parkrun for quite a long time, so I'll show you the start. They didn't actually put that at the start in the end, and Oxford Parkrun. Okay, so I'm going to go to the cafe and see if I can get a bacon roll. Okay, so I've just got my bacon roll. Big queue for coffee and snacks after, but it's a great cafe. Yeah, really, really good. They did try to open. He opened one in Florence Park, which wasn't successful, unfortunately. This was the original, the original cafe that I remember his business. But yeah, does a big selection of different foods and snacks and various things. And yeah, really good park, really, really nice. Very much recommend checking it out if you haven't already, or if you're visiting Oxford. So that's Cutslow Park, Oxford Parkrun. Okay, thanks for watching. Do check out the other videos, and see you soon. Morning, Trev here. I'm just at Harcourt Hill. I've just looked at the parking meters, Harcourt Hill Parkrun, and free parking, but I did put a ticket on anyway, free for 2 hours and free at weekends it seems. But yeah, I'm putting a ticket in because a lot of the machines, even though it says free parking, they do charge you. So I've not been to this parkrun for quite a long time. It started maybe 9 years ago, something like that. So I remember starting the Rosehill Runners group, and that was sort of 2014, something like that. And in that October, yeah, there was talks of a new parkrun, and came around to probably the very first one. And I remember Seb Reynolds, I think his dad, his late dad, I think, helped start it, or mum. So yeah, I've been to this parkrun a lot, but not for years and years. And I did hear the other day on Facebook, there's a campaign to save the swimming pool, because I believe that the university are moving out of the campus. So this is a kind of Harcourt Hill campus is where they do teacher training and stuff, but apparently Brooks are moving out of Harcourt Hill. So I'm not sure if that's sort of, well, I'm I'm assuming it is true, next year, 2015. So I don't know what will happen to the swimming pool, and I don't know what will happen to the parkrun, but the parkrun is still existent today, so I thought I'd pop down to see it. So let's just have a look at the start sign. Harcourt Hill Parkrun. So yeah, Oxford is very, very lucky to have so many parkruns. I'm just going to swap my camera around. Okay, so now we can see. So it's on a hill, as the name suggests. We've got quite a lot of taped off sort of cricket fields, I think, or nice fields. It was, I think, a 2-lap course, as I remember, but I will go to the first timers briefing. Out round there. This is years ago. In there and up into sort of a woody field, back, and then round, and then to there, and then do it again, something like that. But there you go, you can see Oxford Brookes Sport. But I will go to the first timers briefing if I think I'm in time for it. Let's just check what the time is. It's 8:42, and yeah, they've got a nice little gazebo there. I don't think this one's has too many people coming to it. I'm thinking a couple of hundred maybe. Now there were 4 in Oxford, so it's nice to come again. We're spoilt for choice. But yeah, you can see there's a few people warming up already. I think the finish funnel was around here. They've not put it up though, so it will all be seen. Oh yeah, there's some marshals putting up finish funnel, and in there was some facilities like cafe and stuff. Yep. Cafe, toilets. Let's see if we can get in and show you this. So that seems to be locked, but that the swimming pool is in there to the left. I don't know if they'll open that before the end. Some vending machines. We shall see. Shut at the moment. Oh, there's someone in there. Or maybe they've gone round. Maybe let's go round. Okay, I'm just going to go round just to see. It's just that back door. Okay, so just come around the building to the car park again. Quite a lot of car parking, unless they had a massive event. You should be fine. Looks pretty good. And this is, yeah, the building. I'm just going to see if it's open. What they did last time I was here years ago was they shut it. Yeah, there we go. They shut the door because they don't want people with muddy feet coming in. So let's have a little look and see. There's the swimming pool. Can't film the swimming pool obviously, but yeah, this is quite a nice place to chill out. And they have, unfortunately this machine is out of, so we're not going to have our coffee. But I remember this being a space after to chill out is very, very nice. And some toilets. Yeah, some nice sofas, and it is open. There is some swimming lessons going on. So yeah, 8 schools. So we can go out there. Here we are, where we were. But yeah, you can't come in that way. Mainly for muddy feet, I think. So you go round. They're just setting up the finish funnel. So I'll just wait for the first timers briefing.
Okay, so where's everyone from? Anyone from a long distance? Manchester? Anyone from Manchester? Okay, do you want to take over in a loud voice?
So, there are 3 fields and so start here.
Stop over there.
Yeah.
And going this way.
And you start at that third tree, and you run through there, and then you go behind those hedges and you run past the wall. Then you run up here into the second field, across here, and into the third field. Around the third field, and back into the second, and then back into the first. And then you run around there and come back. And then you do it all over again.
So there's marshals at the pinch points. The only difference this week, the bit that I don't know, is you go through the woods. So there's a marshal there that will send you the right way on the first bit and then send you into the woods. And the only tip is try not to be first if you don't know your way. Try and follow somebody because it's quite straightforward once you follow somebody. And the second lap is exactly the same as the first lap. So once you've done it once, it's quite straightforward. And then when you come through at the end, the finish funnel is just there.
So exciting first timers briefing. It looks like the course is the other way round since I last came before lockdown, maybe 5 years ago, and I think it's event number about 420, something like that, maybe a bit more than that, I'm not sure. I will look that up and put it in the description. But yeah, so we're just waiting for the main briefing now. It looks like there's about maybe 100 people here already, but there's 2 minutes. Park runners often do come in the last minute, so okay. A little bit of an odd start. We didn't have a briefing, and maybe we'll have a bit of a briefing when we're there, but we're just moving to the start line. They're starting a little bit late, so it's sort of 10 past, very unusual for parkrun to start a few minutes late, but perfectly fine. They couldn't find the defib or something like that, so obviously they couldn't start until they'd sorted that out. But yeah, we're moving to the start line, and then maybe they'll give us a last little brief before we start. See a bit more of the grounds. Some university accommodation, and it looks like a little church.
I'm Maddie. They're on today. Do we have anyone doing their first parkrun today? Are there any parkrun tourists here?
So yeah, we are off. the old parkrun post, which tells you the crossing the other way. There's the car park. Thank you, Marshall. Another post. So I believe we're doing a little out and back on this tree line. Around and then around this field. So yeah, no dogs on this course either. Did see a spectator with a dog, so I think maybe the dogs are allowed if they're not running, but no running dogs. There are still the posts from when the course was the other way around. It'd be nice to see some new little signs on it. It's in the distance because I remember them putting these posts. You can see first lap, second lap distance, but obviously they don't apply now because we're running it the other way around. Interesting decision to flip the course, which I'm not sure why they made. There's bar down there. Not sure why they made that decision to flip it, but interesting for me. In fact, they used to do special event, run the course backwards sort of thing, but they stopped it just for safety. So you have to have a kind of a safety checked course. You can have one alternative course checked as well. And yeah, both have to be approved by Parkrun HQ. So you can't just go flipping any old course. So they obviously went through all the correct streams to do this. Into the woodland. Thank you, Marshall. It's another post. So yeah, a little bit in the wood, which is great. Summer course, so I don't know if their wet course or their winter course might be 3 laps of just fields. That's what's normal. A little bit of mud, not a lot. It's only a small bit of wood, not like Walford Wood, which I did last week. And if you want to see that vlog, then do click. I'll put a link. And I've now done 3 of the 4 Oxford park runs. So Harcourt Hill is where I am today. And I've done Oxford Park Run, which is Cutslow Park, and University Park. So it leaves me to do Horse Path. I like it this way around. You've got the kind of sloping hill down. Some nice long grass. Looks like there's some quite nice walks in the wood as well. If you wanted to explore. I love these cones to stop any shortcuts. So tempting. Thank you, Marshall. Cheers. All right. Yeah, a very nice mix of short and long grass. Because you also have the highly maintained cricket pitches, but then they've still kept an awful lot of wild space at the sides and even in the middle here to make nice walks. Makes it nice to run round. Maybe they've planted grass. Can't quite work out. I'm assuming they're sports pitches, but you'd think they'd have some things in the middle, so maybe not. Another little, that one back along this little tree line. What's it say? Please keep off grass growing. So yeah, they're turning them into grass fields. It's interesting. And again, this post, which was put in years ago, which is the wrong way round. Okay. Maybe they don't do sports anymore. Like I say, Oxford Brooks, I believe, are leaving this site next year to 2025. So who knows what will happen to it next. If they've maintained these paths though, maybe the park one will continue, fingers crossed. And yeah, the swimming pool has a petition just launched the other day I saw. I'll try and find a link to it. But yeah, a lot of people use the pool, including 8 or 9 local schools, and you know, they're worried that that won't be maintained. I think they need to raise something like £40,000, something like that, in order to keep the pool going. But yeah, without Oxford Brookes, the university here, goodness knows what will happen to all the rest of the development. Some of them look quite new buildings. Maybe not those, so I don't know if they'll redo some buildings. I remember going here when I was studying teaching course. So interesting to see what will happen in a year. That looks like a jump. And safety. I did spot it there. Yep, another one. That's very clear. Well done, marshals. Maybe they didn't want that at the beginning. Last post. Thank you. Thank you, marshals. Okay, so that was lap 1. Gonna do another lap and then I'll be in that finish funnel there. Just coming up to the second lap. End of the second lap. This tree line, you can see the tail walker over there. Just started to rain a little bit, so I'm glad I'm coming to the end. Got my band. So yeah, they do, as far as I'm aware, still do a junior event here on the Sunday as well, which is 9 o'clock, for 4 to 14 year olds. So if you want a slightly quieter park run, especially compared to like university parks or Cutslow, which regularly has 500 people, then this is a nice one to come to. It's West Oxford, so if you live west of the city, then it may even be closer, but worth checking out. So we've got our volunteers and tail walker. Just finishing their first lap. So yeah, they all try and include walkers. I'd say you need to get round in an hour or so. If you can't walk 5k in an hour, then expect to do it pretty much on your own, which isn't for everybody at all. I think they could do with a rethink about walkers, if I'm honest. Maybe just doing one lap, or I don't know, even starting at a different time. I don't know, starting early or something. But anyway, some walkers do it, but virtually every park when I've been to, it's only a handful of walkers, which is a shame actually, because I think a lot of people could walk these events. So coming up to the end. Hope they'll let us in the dry afterwards. It's only spitting, but it's now getting a little bit cold. Final 100 metres or so. It's nice they've got this gazebo, which I still think think of as new, but that's been there a good few years now. You get shelter under that. Thank you. Thank you. Through the funnel. Stay in the funnel. Thank you very much. Thank you. 65. So, okay, scanner's over here. Looks like that door's still shut. So, but you can go in. You just have to go around. So I'll go and get mine scanned now. Okay, so just finished. It's now starting to rain. Yeah, a lovely park run, and I really love being sort of up on the hill. The tail walker did just pass, and the other two walkers with them dropped out. So this is what I mean about walkers. I think the idea of maybe just doing one lap, most, if not all, park runs, I would say most do 2 or more laps. Just give them an option, because doing the last lap, just imagine if you're a walker doing another lap for another sort of half an hour on your own, even with a tail walker. I don't really think that's including walkers. I think that's just ticking a box. So I am a bit critical of that, but that's for reasons. But yeah, a couple of other things. The little posts could really do with another kind of little arrow pointing the correct way, because especially if they're using this course now permanently, so you know which way you're going on the post. The posts were put in when the park run started, sort of 9 or so years ago. That would be really good. And yeah, the cafe isn't really accessible because of the muddy feet. So I do appreciate that Oxford Brooks don't want muddy shoes in the thing, but I don't know, you could just sort of readdress that and get I don't know, a mat outside to wipe your feet, or if it's a really muddy day, I understand it, but today it's only just started. There's no real mud problems today, so having that door open. So yeah, there are a couple of like feedback things about Harcourt Hill, but it's really worth checking out if you normally go to one of the one of the other ones in Oxford. And there's a dog there. So yeah, I imagine dogs are sort of allowed on some parts of the course, just not on the university bit. So if you're bringing a dog and have a second person, one of you can stay with the dog, but the dogs aren't allowed to run the course. Yeah, if you haven't already, do click subscribe and check out my other parkrun vlogs. So I've done about 5 parkruns now. If there's a parkrun, particularly in Oxfordshire or anywhere really, that you'd like to see me do a vlog of, then let me know which is your favourite parkrun, and yeah, hopefully see you next time. Okay, bye bye. Good morning, Trev here. I'm just at University Parks in Oxford, and I'm going to do their parkrun. It's the 25th of May 2024, and yeah, I really like this parkrun. It's one that I know really well. I was involved in setting it up a few years ago, and I've done lots of volunteering here, done run directing here. It's the only adult parkrun that I've done run directing at, and it's very popular at the moment. It's getting sort of 500 plus. Some weeks I think it even got up to 700, something like that, participants. So it's a very busy one. Nice flat course. You can see it's sort of kind of a gravelly path all the way round, completely flat, and also it's very kind of beautiful. If you do things like Oxford Half Marathon or the Town and Gown run, which both cost quite a lot of money, they both use university parks, and you can run around it on a Saturday for free. So when I run around it, I do feel quite kind of privileged in the fact that I'm doing this kind of beautiful park for absolutely no money at all, which is really good. So you can see one of the arrows over here. So the setup has been done. It's coming up to 10 to, so hopefully might catch a little bit of the first timers briefing. Got some people running to warm up, so I'm just taking you along for the journey. Maybe let's just jog to the start.
Of course, near the peas and there's a pen ring.
Anna's our tail walker, she'll be out making sure you're all right on the course. Crossing the line last. It's all run by volunteers, so if you want to volunteer in the future, either here or at your parkrun platform, speak to someone who can tell you how to do it. It's really easy, it's really rewarding. Has anyone travelled far to be here today? Go on. New York.
Good morning, everyone. Welcome to University Park's parkrun, event number 120. So that everybody can hear, we'll just give a few safety and other briefings and then you'll be on your way. So thank you. How many here who's doing their first ever parkrun? Oh, nice round of applause for them, please. And anyone visiting from another parkrun who's here as a tourist? Always hundreds. Come on, let's see your hands. Nice. And a round of applause for you all as well. Thank you.
Yeah, like they've managed them until now, but like, yeah, nice everyone. Yeah, exactly. It's like they've been like, it's like a Jenga tower block, which is lying on one like, just like all of them to get into the school. But one of them can't see in the cupboard, so the other one in the cupboard points to the stick. Like it's impressive, they're so scared. Yeah. But it would be nice to go up and see them regardless. And it is just sort of it's sort of like it's gonna happen.
Okay, so I'm over a third of the way through, just on the back straight by the River Cherwell. So I'll just give you a little view of the River Cherwell. And it's quite sunny and busy this morning, so I've got my hat and my sunglasses, got my Racer Runners t-shirt. Thank you, marshals. Thank you, Marshall.
Thanks, Marshall.
It's a beautiful river. That Cherwell links into the Thames. Not sure about the pollution on the Cherwell. I'm doing a Clean Rivers pollution thing later today, focusing on long bridges than the Thames. There's the bridge.
Oh wait, I'll see you after the run, bro.
Thank you, marshals. Unfortunately, I think the Cherwell is about the same pollution level as the Thames. It's looking a little bit murky considering it hasn't rained. Oh. We go left, but there's a cool duck pond there if you're in the park. Off we go. And then we've got to do it all again, up 2. So we're on our second lap. Okay, so didn't film this bit on lap 1. So we're coming up to what would be the more official entrance to the park. Some of the university buildings down there, and you've got Broad Street further up this way. This is like the grand entrance. Sorry. There is a coffee van and crepes and ice creams. This is just as you come into the park on the right. A lot of park runners do go to common ground though, so there's a cafe a little bit of a walk away. Shame they don't use the one in the park really, or set something else up because it's a little bit of a walk, but good that it's there. So you can see all the well-established trees. Very beautiful park. So I think she said it was event 200 or around 200, which means it's sort of been going for roughly 4 years, but I think there might have been pandemic stuff might have disrupted that. But yeah, so it's been going a while now. 4 years seems a long time, and maybe it's just 3 years, but 200, yeah, doing maths in my head. You can only do 50 a year or so. So they do quite a few events. Yeah, there's the cricket pavilion. So we're just coming up to the tail walkers. Thank you, tail walkers. And this is the end. There's the finish funnel that we will go through in a bit. Thank you, marshals. So we're just coming up to the duck pond for the second time. So this time we will turn left at the split and go down the finish funnel. Over there is the finish. So this time I turn left. Thank you. 100 metres to go. That's where the start was. Not really into sprint finishes anymore. Well, I did one the other day, but not today probably. So hot. Did that little guy beat me? Did he? He is super fast if he did.
Keep moving, keep moving!
Thank you. Can't believe that guy beat me. Anyway. So we're in the finish funnel. Thank you, marshals. Thank you. And here we split into two.
My wife found a picture of it before.
So these people get a letter to go into the next part of the funnel, just for crowd control really, so the funnel doesn't build up too much. Yeah, put your hand up for the token. Busy day today. Okay.
Two or not?
Thank you. I don't think you ban it. So it's my number. If I can read it, 403. So getting the token's really important so that the results line up, and the time to actually get it scanned, you can take your time. You don't need to rush to get it scanned. You can catch your breath and stuff. But yeah, really important you take a token if you go in the funnel, and if you take a token, give it back. If you're not registered, just put it in the bucket. They might get confused if you do that, but we need the tokens back regardless of whether you're, oh goodness, enrolled or not. So there's the token. I'll just get my wristband from Emily and I'll take that off and then I can get it scanned. Okay, so take mine first.
That one first, please. The other one.
Sorry.
Yeah. Alright. Got it. And then thank you very
My
much.
number. Thanks a lot.
Well done.
Pop in the bucket. So yeah, my one was the band, and then yeah, it links up with your number. Our assembly point. Here's the bag drop, so I'll go and get my top. But yeah, very hot day. So thanks for joining me. See you on the next video. Bye bye. Good morning. Trev here, and I'm just at Horsepath Parkrun. It's a bit wet. It seems to have just sort of be stopping a little bit, and the time is 8:40. Let's have a look. 8:44. So yeah, come to review it. It wasn't meant to be this wet, but it seems to be stopping, so hopefully we'll be all right. Okay, so this is the athletics track at Horsepath. We don't actually run on the athletics track. We kind of run behind and up this sort of hill and then down. There's like a bit like a Teletubby mound round there, and then back around the front. But it does mean that there's some facilities, and there is a little kind of cafe that's open, and there's a free car park, which is great. I've driven today. I normally cycle because it's not too far, but yeah, very appreciative of the free car park. I did get into a bit of trouble, well, mild trouble on the Wolford Wood parkrun page because I was complaining a little bit about the parking, and it's not my aim to upset anyone about well, anything with my videos as ever, but I think if there's not another way of getting to the parkrun, then that should be looked at for inclusion purposes. Here we are, Horsepath athletics track. But yeah, it makes me feel very lucky actually that the Oxford parkruns don't charge for parking, because £3 for parking I think is quite a lot, and some parkruns runs do charge for their parking. And yeah, anyway, so here we are at Horsepath, and it's wet, but it seems to have stopped a little bit. Oxford City, I think, train here. So there's various different facilities, toilets and a cafe. There's the parkrun sign. Not many people outside, but it is going ahead. I can see the start sort of flag thing over there. Look, over there.
Anyone else? Okay. So, welcome. My name is Fran. Welcome to Horsepath Parkrun. Got any questions talking about any of the parkrun? Or any of the other volunteers who are very
So, just seeing the course map. So the start is over here. We run round the field, round the back of that, round up to there, round another field there, then up and down the track, sort of by the side of the track, which is the other side of the building, which I showed you before, then up here, round this rugby pitch, then through the middle of that and back, and then you do it all again, and then at the end you would go through the finish funnel, which is there. So yeah, I'll just stick a map up now for you to have a little look at.
Morning, everybody. Would you like to gather round for the run brief, please? Morning. Come a bit closer. That would be great. Welcome. So welcome everyone to Horsepath Parkrun. It's event 125. I'm Anna, I'm your run director today. First of all, can we start with a big thank you to all our volunteers, a round of applause. Yeah, and if you'd like to volunteer, please come and let me know, because we were struggling a little bit for marshals today, and we would love to welcome you to volunteer anytime. You don't have to commit to doing it every single week or even once a month. You can just do it as a one-off. It's very easy, it's lots of fun. We'll let you know what to do, and everybody will really appreciate it and say thank you, Marshall, as you go past you. So make sure you say a special thank you to all the marshals today.
Hello. Curve there. Thank you, Marshall.
Well done.
So I'm saying don't run on the softball pitch because they've just mowed it and keeping it very, very short. This bit's a lot better than when I last came. It was a lot muddy around this area and it seems to have settled really nicely today at least. Very twig. Thank you, marshals. Thank you.
Well done.
So there's the running track that we saw earlier. And we're just running behind it. Well done. That's a spectator dog. And dogs are allowed on this course, which is good. Good to see. So we've got 2 dogs running today, one with a tail walk and another one. Done a really good job with the mowing. It's really clear. And left some bits unmown as well. That's really nice. Oh. Thank you, Marshall. Good, thank you. There's a little bit of old road down here, which is sometimes a little bit slippy. Mostly it's flat grass, apart from this bit and a couple of curbs. So you have to cross the road twice, but it's only an access road, so it's only got 1 or 2 cars if there's an event. But I don't think this is ever used as a road, so it's a bit bumpy. So you just have to take your time on it. Lots of people do it with buggies though, so not too bad. This next bit up here, though, is the one and only hill. And I say hill, short and sweet, Teletubby hill perhaps. So yeah. Thank you, Marshall. And that's it. We're at the top of the hill. There's the track down there. Yeah, a little bit of cut grass here. You'd probably struggle a little bit with the buggy at the moment because it's still a little bit damp and there's a little bit of cut grass and stuff, but I'm sure you'd manage. No one with a buggy today. So yeah, just be aware if you're coming in it's wet. Oh, you look fellow, you're having fun. He's got his ball. So like normal, I'll run one lap and then show you the end. Whew. What's that for? Discus or javelin or something? But yeah, the most amount of cones and flags just to stop any trips. Thank you. So yeah, 2 little curbs to cross the road twice. So just be careful. I know someone's tripped once or twice. Just be careful. It's never a race, parkrun. It's just about getting round, really. And yeah, rugby pitch. I don't know if that's AstroTurf, it looks like. So I imagine they use them at different times. The grass and the AstroTurf. They've changed this bit a few times. So now we run all the way up to sort of the middle of the field. We used to run sort of just hugging that. Not a massive change. Unlike Harcourt Hill that completely flipped their course. And horse baths, interesting because it was going to start just before COVID, and there was like real enthusiasm for the opening, and then I believe they didn't even do event 1, and then COVID hit, so they had to wait for another year or 2 even before starting. So should have been open a lot earlier than it actually was. I will look it up, but I think it started just before University Parks. But they were in quite quick succession in the end, because University Parks was obviously doing all its planning. Horsebath had the go-ahead, but couldn't start because of lockdown. But yeah, a really nice parkrun if you've not visited it, and especially if you're local to Oxford and you've done the other ones, then have a go at Horsepath. Thank you. Thank you, marshals. Thank you, Luke. Nice extra cones. Probably had to run around the start, I would think. Okay, we're on to lap 2, so I will see you at the finish. Well done.
Well done, you.
I'm just coming up to the end. Past the tail walker. You get a lot of the walkers doing 2 laps, so you see some of them And I like the 2 laps really, because you see some of the faster runners come through and you see the walkers, but I still feel that there's another way to include walkers, maybe doing just 1 lap, or indeed everybody doing an extra lap that can, to make them feel not on their own for the last bit. But I see some sprinters. I'm definitely not going to sprint. So a little bit quieter than maybe uni parks and Cutslow, but still a fair amount, you know, 100, maybe 200 at max. And we're just coming up to the finish funnel.
But he's overtaken.
Speedy, yeah. Oh, I'm not good at sprint finishes, I'm not going to do that. And Park Walker, thank you. Oh my goodness, another one. Thank you. Thank you very much. And yeah, stay in order in the funnel. Thank you very much. Okay, well there we are. So Horsepath Parkrun, the last one of the 4 that I've done in Oxford. So I'll do a little video of all 4 and sort of do a little kind of comparison of all of the park runs. But yeah, like I say, if you've not done Horsepath, if you kind of like going to uni parks all the time and you've not tried out the other ones, which are literally just a mile outside, or you know, if you live sort of on the east side of Oxford, it may even be closer than uni parks or the other ones, then do check out the other Oxford park runs. So I'm just going to get a coffee in the building, and yeah, thanks for watching. See you soon. Take care. Bye bye. Okay, so thanks for watching all of my 4 vlogs. So I thought it might be helpful just to do a little kind of review of the 4 park runs, and if you've got a favourite, then do let me know which one your favourite is, and I'll sort of try and summarise which one my favourite is and for what reason, for example. So first of all, if I just do a bit of parkrun info, so Oxford Parkrun is the oldest of the parkruns. So it started on the 5th of November 2011. So the parkrun number 571 this week. The first parkrun had 50 runners and 7 volunteers. So yeah, I didn't go to that particular opening inaugural parkrun. I think they tried to set up a parkrun in Oxford before Abingdon Parkrun, which is slightly older, and they didn't know whether it would be successful, and they saw that Abingdon was successful, and then they were like, well, hey, why don't we start Oxford Parkrun in Cutslow Park? So obviously it's called Oxford Parkrun because it was the first one, but it's in Cutslow Park. So yeah, the other one's Harcourt Hill. So Harcourt Hill started on the 18th of October 2014. So I remember that starting, which was a few months after starting the Rose Hill Runners little running group in Rose Hill that me and a couple of friends sort of started. So I think I went to that first park run, and it's now 411 park runs old. The first park run had 154 runners and 7 volunteers. So not many volunteers, it seems, back then. So next up we have Horsepath. So Horsepath started on the 7th of August 2021. I think it was delayed, the starting because of COVID. So it's a little bit interesting, Horsepath, but yeah, there was a frustrating start. I remember them not starting for quite a considerable time, but they did start in the end. So the age is 125 park runs. The first park run had 194 runners and 22 volunteers made that possible. So now we're talking our more normal amount of volunteers. 22 volunteers is a bit more normal. And lastly, the youngest parkrun, University Park's parkrun, started on the 5th of February 2022. So it's 124 parkruns old. So it's only one less than Horsepath for various reasons, with COVID and closures and such like. So the date's quite different, but the number of parkruns that have actually happened is only one difference. So the first University Parks parkrun had 305 runners, which is, you know, quite a lot even for well, a normal parkrun standard, and 28 volunteers. So that's just to give you kind of like the overview of the first parkrun. Also, just to sort of say how many parkruns how many parkrunners normally go to each event, because that might sort of help you decide what parkrun you might like to go to. So Oxford Parkrun has roughly 300 to 500 parkrunners each week. Harcourt Hill has about 100, give or take a little bit. Horsepath has between 100 and 150, and University Parks is by far the biggest, has pretty much between 500 and 700 runners each week. So depending on what you're looking for, so Horsepath and Harcourt Hill are a lot fewer runners. It doesn't seem empty, but Oxford Parkrun is a sort of medium busy, and University Parks can get very busy. So if you want a sort of more spacious experience, I recommend trying out, for example, Horsepath if you've not been there before. So other things to analyze: dogs. So Oxford Parkrun, yes, dogs are fine. One per runner on a short handheld lead. So that's the kind of the rule throughout all of Parkrun. Harcourt Hill doesn't allow dogs on the course, but there are a couple of places that dogs can sort of spectate, the bit that isn't the university land. So if you were going with someone with a dog, you could let them have the dog at the side, if you see what I mean. So I know some parkruns don't allow dogs anywhere at all, but Harcourt Hill, not to run the course, but dogs are kind of okay on some parts of the course. Horsepath, dogs are fine. There were 2 dogs today. And University Parks, yes, dogs are fine. Okay, so car parking. So Oxford Parkrun, I believe, is free till 10 a.m. It might be 1 hour free as well if you're after 10 a.m. But remember to get a ticket if you are doing the free parking. Harcourt Hill did say it's free at weekends, but also do get a ticket. Even if it's free, do get a ticket just in case. Horsepath is free and there's no sort of tickets or anything. And University Parks, there's no parking, but there's a park and ride bus, and you can commute from various different ways because it's Oxford city centre, so it's quite commutable in by other means of transport. But yeah, as I said in one of the vlogs about car parking, so some parkruns do charge for parking, and maybe I'm very privileged, or we're very privileged in Oxford to have free parking. Of course, if you can get to parkrun by other means, then do leave your car at home and do car share if you possibly can. But yeah, so far there is free parking at these parkruns, so if it's pouring with rain or if there's a need to drive, then you can. Buggies. So if you need to take a buggy, Oxford Parkrun, I would say, is good. Their summer course is 2 laps, which goes on a bit of grass. Their winter course is 3 laps, which is mainly path, so it's sort of good generally. Harcourt Hill is okay, so I would say there's a couple of like curbs and bumps, various bits, but okay. So all of them are okay with buggies, but some better than others. Horsepath is okay too, so it has some curbs. So yeah, sorry, Harcourt Hill has a bit of woodland you go through, and Harcourt Hill has some curbs and a few bumps, mainly grassy flat. So Harcourt Hill and Horsepath are both grassy, so if it's wet and you've got a buggy, they're not ideal places to go with a buggy. University Parks is great with a buggy because it's path all the way from start to finish, so you would be fine with a buggy there. Walkers. So I've made a couple of comments about walkers throughout the vlogs about how Parkrun does or doesn't include walkers. I would say it claims to include walkers throughout its service, as it were. But in my experience, there are many people who don't feel included, mainly because if you're a walker and you're slower, particularly if you're slower than an hour to get round the 5k, you may well be walking on your own with a tail walker, and that's not everyone's idea of a great sort of inclusion. Like, it's not a very great way to feel included, because if you're struggling to get round in, like, I don't know, 1.5 hours, you will feel like you've held everyone up. And that's, I guess, my feeling generally about walkers. But yeah, in Oxford Parkrun, there are a few walkers. So, you know, a handful. Harcourt Hill, probably a few walkers. Horsepath I went to today, a few walkers, but there was one with a disability or an injury who had crutches. And University Parks, again, a few walkers. If you are happy to walk on your own with a tail walker, then I think absolutely it includes you. And if you've got a few friends that you want to walk with and they all come together, that's great too. I still think it needs to be addressed. I feel like the fact that many park runs are 2 laps or even more means that walkers could be included in a bit more of a kind of social way. So maybe doing 1 lap and then not going through the finish funnel or something like that. But I know there's 2 sides to it. Some people feel that they must do the 5k. Sorry. Also, for example, people who finish, could they then do a cool down lap with the walkers? Could people that finish then walk with the walkers, because then it gives the walkers a bit more of an oomph to, you know, feel included. But yeah, so I feel that that's a general point, not to do with these 4 park runs, but walkers. By all means, I would love to see more walkers at park runs. But yeah, there we go. Fastest park run. I'm not that fast. I haven't actually looked up the stats for fastest park run. I think they're all fairly fast, but Oxford Park Run is probably the second fastest. Harcourt Hill and Horsepath, if it's dry, are fairly fast, and University Parks wins, other than a bit of a bottleneck at the beginning. They tend to stagger it so faster runners can go right near the front and whiz away, so to speak. But University Parks is likely to be the fastest of those 4. I did put most pretty. I would say Oxford Park Run. So Cutslow Park is a beautiful park, and there's a lot in it. But they're all pretty. University Parks obviously is pretty, and Horsepath and Harcourt Hill are more sort of fieldy, but there's open hills on Harcourt Hill. You get a nice view. Horsepath is possibly the least pretty. I don't know if that's controversial, but yeah, they're all pretty in their own way. Absolutely. Best cafe. So Oxford Park Run. Actually, I should say about cafes that the idea of the cafe, when Park Run was created, was that all of the volunteers and the runners got together after the run and had a cup of coffee together, or whatever. But that was a really important part of the model. So the volunteers and the runners had an element of social connection afterwards. Obviously, people can't do it every week, but that element of having a cafe nearby or in the park is really important to, or was really important and still is, in my opinion, to the parkrun ethos. So Oxford Parkrun does have an amazing cafe, but it's under threat. I think it might even be shutting soon, sadly. Hopefully it gets another tenancy, or hopefully another cafe comes in its place. Oxford Parkrun has been very lucky to have an amazing cafe for such a long time, as I put in my vlog. But hopefully you'll get another one if that gets shut, which would be very sad. Harcourt Hill has machines, but they were broken when I last went, and I imagine that's normal, sadly. So there's a little space you can meet, but it's not very accessible. You've got to go round to go in. They've put a sign saying no muddy boots, even when it's not muddy. So it's not really as cafe friendly as it could be. Horsepath went today and has a great cafe. So it's their sports centre, athletics centre sort of cafe. They do like bacon rolls and cafe snacks and stuff. It wasn't really massively used today, but I've been in the past and there's been a few people, but Horsepath has a great cafe, so use their cafe. It's really great. And University Parks does not have a cafe close or in the park, or let me clarify that. They've chosen to use common ground, which is, I would say, about a mile away. So you can get there, but it doesn't really feel fully connected to the park run because it's still a bit of a trek into Jericho. There is a little coffee van, which I'm not sure why there hasn't been a deal with that to sort of up that a bit. But there is an ability to get a coffee in the park with a little van, but that's not the place that Parkrun recommends. And yeah, consequently, I would say Horsepath is probably the winner at the moment with a great cafe. In terms of overall, I'm not sure if I'm even going to be able to pick an overall winner, but I would say University Parks does have a soft spot in my heart because I was involved in sort of setting it up. It's the only one that I've run directed at. I've volunteered at a few of them, but University Parks is possibly my favourite in lots of ways. But Horsepath is probably the one I'm going to say this time, for things like the cafe and the fact that if you actually like a slightly quieter park run. And it's also my closest park run. So, these are all factors to consider. Cutslow Park is an amazing park. Harcourt Hill, I've got fond memories of Harcourt Hill, but now they've changed it to the other way round. Yeah, so between University Parks and Horsepath, it might still have to be University Parks just because, of the history. But yeah, if you want a quieter park run, then do check out another one. And like I've said in some of the vlogs, if you live in Oxford or near Oxford, or if you go to Oxford Park runs, do try out the other ones. So if you've done Cutslow 10 times, Oxford Park Run, then do try and venture to one of the other ones and just check them out, because it's nice to run different park runs, and there are 4 very, very close and all very accessible from people that are around the area. So hope you found that useful. Please do drop a comment, let me know which is your favourite, or which ones you've been to, or which ones you're looking forward to going to in Oxford. And yeah, thanks for watching. Bye bye.